So it's been a few weeks now since the DJI Neo was released, and over the past few weeks I've been using this in all different scenarios, both recommended by DJI and not recommended by DJI, with flying in high winds and above water. And I've also taken this back with me to Hawaii to see how this performs as a travel drone. So in today's video I'm gonna share my honest experience using the DJI Neo here at home and also as a travel drone. And hopefully by the end of this video you'll have a better understanding whether or not this is a drone for you and a drone that you should buy. But let's be honest, this is one fantastic drone. So first let's talk about the whole experience I've had. This is a $199 drone, so there's only so much you can expect from it, right? But because it's made by DJI, it's easy to expect a little bit more because DJI makes some of the best consumer drones on the market, and we also have drones like the Mini 3 Pro, the Mini 4 Pro, the Air 3 and the Mavic 3 Pro, which all captures amazing videos, but they also cost like up to 10 times more than the DJI Neo. So I would say DJI has something for everyone, and it's up to you and I to decide which is the best drone to get for our needs. And I must say the experience I've had with flying the DJI Neo over the past few weeks has been nothing but amazing. I mean, the quality on this could have been better, but with some additional tweaks here and there in post, it's more than enough for what I need. And if I need to have a more professional look, let's say I have a project which requires more details, more dynamic range, or maybe some crisp photos, I will just use the Mini 4 Pro. But for those times I want to have fun, maybe capture some additional angles or B-roll for a video I'm making here on YouTube, honestly, I don't find any of the drones on the market which is as easy to use as the DJI Neo. Of course, we have the Hover Air collection, but that's something I haven't really tried myself personally, so it's hard to compare the two. But for what the Neo is, it's an amazing sidekick if you just want the job done, have some fun, or even practice some FPV flying. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning, I took this to Hawaii to see how it would perform and, you know, if this is something that I can see myself using more in the future and not just for a couple of videos here on YouTube. So one of the benefits I noticed with this right away is when I was out traveling, and especially when I travel overseas by plane and stuff like that. So when I go through security, they always say, take out everything which is larger than your phone. So because the Neo is such a tiny drone, you can just leave it in there and no one will really bother, which is fantastic, and it makes the whole process of getting through the security much easier, especially when you travel with kids. Everything is, you know, if you travel with kids, you know what I mean. It's also extremely light, only 135 grams, which is a huge benefit if you're traveling lightweight or don't want to bring some heavy equipment. And when you finally reach your destination, you're exhausted, but you still want to capture some quick selfies or maybe show the location you're at, you can just select either of the quick shots which are here on the drone itself here with no controller needed, not even your smartphone, and you'll have a ready to go aerial clip that you can share on social media within a few minutes, instead of spending 4 or 5 minutes just setting up everything with a remote controller and then fly up and then decide between all the different features. Should I use quick shots? Maybe I should use master shots because that's all the quick shots baked into one sequence, or maybe there's a better way. Maybe I'll set up a waypoint mission or use cruise control. Sometimes less is more, you know, and it doesn't always have to be the insane quality. Sometimes, or actually most of the times, it's the moments that matters and how you capture them, and not the drone itself or the camera you use. And when it comes to actual use, I don't think there's ever been a drone for me personally that has been this easy to use. It's just fantastic. It's super easy, so convenient. So on the top here we have 6 buttons here, where one of them is a custom button. So here I can select between helix, boomerang and direction track in the DJI Fly app. And when I have everything set up, I can just press hold on this button right here, and that's it. So I'm now using my smartphone here to monitor how the DJI Neo is tracking, and it's actually tracking pretty good now. The wind is, not sure how much wind it is right now, but it's not that bad actually, and looks like the shot is turning out pretty good. So let's just put the phone away and Let's see if we can get some cinematic walking shots, I guess, with this travel drone behind me here. It's just fantastic how this actually works. Just right straight out of your pocket and it will track you. Just press one button and you're done. So I'm now at the beach here in Hawaii, and there is a little bit of wind going on here. I must say, you can check out the waves over there. It's a pretty big waves. I've set the custom profile to helix now at 10 meters, and I'm just gonna stand a little bit further away from the water just in case. So we're gonna change it over to
circle, rocket, spotlight, helix.
Helix. And what I really like is that, you know, it tells you what type of mode you're on, which is fantastic. Makes it so much easier. So just holding the button here and
10 meters, helix, 3,
let's see here.
2, 1.
Now it should come back, hopefully. It's a little bit of wind here. You can see it struggles a little bit. There you go. It's easy as that. Let's do another one here, which I think will look pretty good here with the waves in the background here.
Droney.
So we're gonna do a droney here. I'm gonna face like this and turn around when we have the shot. So holding the button here.
10 meters. Droney. 3, 2, 1.
Look at that. It's a nice wave. What I really like is that it records both when it goes away and when it comes back, so we kind of get two shots in one. And with the normal quick shots, when you just do it on the Mini 4 Pro, I think you only get the one which is, you know, going away and then it stops recording and then it comes back. But for this one you actually get both of the shots when it's going away from you and when it's coming back to you, which is it's pretty nice. Sometimes, you know, just that shot where it's coming back to you is looking better, and that also means that when you are when you're pulling off one of these quick shots, you don't have to reverse it in post, which sometimes looks just weird. And especially if I were to reverse a clip where we have the waves coming in, reversing that will mean that the waves are going out. So I really like that we have both the incoming and the outgoing shot recorded on this. It's pretty small drone, isn't it? I also have a circle feature which I really like. I made a quick shot video with the Mini 4 Pro a couple of weeks ago, which I recommend that you check out in the description below, where I use helix and all of these to create some really nice looking cinematic clips which I integrate into my cinematic videos. But let's go on and do this this circle here. Just gonna press hold.
10 meters.
10 meters.
Circle. 3, 2, 1.
And you can actually use this as a, you know, if you're a solo content creator, which I am right here right now, you know, you can use this to do some b-rolls when you vlog. You can have it, you know, filming you in a circle like I'm having now. And another good thing is that this is a C0 label drone and it doesn't fly that high when you use quick shots and stuff like that. So the maximum altitude is, hold on, here. See how easy that was? it's just fantastic, and this fits in my pocket. It's just amazing. What I was saying is that this is a C0 label drone, 135 grams, 135 grams, and I'm testing this in Hawaii now. The wind is picking up, and you know, I'm just amazed by the capabilities. Of course, it has its limits as well, and sometimes, you know, because it only has position sensors, so it really depends on where you're flying this. Here I have you know, pretty even ground, so everything is gonna be, it's gonna be much easier for the drone to fly in an area like this. So there we have a circle, and just integrating some of these clips when I do some vlogging here. It would have taken me a lot longer to set up the Mini 4 Pro. I have that with me as well, but you know, just being a solo content creator, having these quick shots to follow everything, is just amazing how easy this has become with the DJI Neo compared to having a bigger drone where you need to set up everything, and it's, you know, it's going to take some time. You have to walk around with the controller or use a necklace to or this neck strap to keep it around your neck hanging down. You know, it's so much easier with this. This guy is all over the place now. Ooh, it's coming in fast. It's coming in fast. Better get back to the other guys. You know, I'm walking on this small path here, and I'm just gonna get some cinematic tracking shots of myself. So
4, follow, 3, 2, 1.
and it should create some cinematic, you know, cinematic shots of myself walking towards this beach here. And you know, this setup, I have no controller, nothing. I just push the button and it will do everything. And this is something I wouldn't be able to do, or I would be able to do it with the Mini 4 Pro, but the effort would be so much more. It's just amazing how easy this is to use. Now, I must say that the experience was on a whole different level. And I mean, in most cases, you don't really need a controller if you're going to use it like this. So the whole travel experience with vlogging, capturing B-rolls, A-rolls, tracking, everything, it has been so much easier than using the Mini 4 Pro. But again, Mini 4 Pro, the Neo, two different drones with two different purposes. Another thing I really like is that I can fly this in so many different ways. So I can use it with or without a controller. I can use it with my smartphone. I can also use it with the DJI RC2 controller here. And I can also fly FPV drone with the Goggles 3 and the motion controller, or the FPV3 controller. And to just have all these different options in a $199 drone, it's amazing. And we also went on a few hikes with this. And one of the things I was really looking forward to on these hikes was to have the Neo track us, but because there was so much foot traffic, it wasn't really ideal, or it wasn't an option. So I tried to record some videos handheld, which was quite interesting actually. Now, when it comes to image quality, I've said it before and I'm gonna say it again, it's not the best, but it's not the worst either. This has a fairly slow aperture and a half-inch sensor, so I'm not gonna get that high quality cinematic footage that I get from the Mini 4 Pro, but I don't need it either. I need something which is fast and easy to use when I first need it, and that's what the Neo offers. And for those times I want the drone to stay in the air longer than it does when I'm using quick shots, I can just select Spotlight, which will make it hover in place and track me, so it will sit in place and then just rotate as I walk and just follow me constantly. And this is a huge feature if you do a lot of vlogging and you need a drone that sits still in the air. And of course there's going to be some pros and cons to the image quality, because out of the box the image is a little bit too sharp for my taste, so I need to lower the shutter speed to make it a little bit better when I'm not using a dedicated controller like the RC2, to lower the sharpness to -2. So the higher shutter speed you have, the more sharp and contrasty image you're gonna get. But this can also be adjusted with the ND filters, and here I have the new ND filters from Freewell for the DJI Neo. Both the standard and polarizing ND filters here, and these are basically sunglasses for the DJI Neo. And this will help you reduce the shutter speed, which will also give you a more appealing look and also less contrast and a little bit of sharpness reduction as well. So if you want to check those out, I'll leave a link to them in the description below. Now, when it comes to battery life, this is a little bit on the lower end, especially if you're coming from a bigger drone like the Air 3, the Mavic 3, the DJI Mini 4 Pro even. But if this is your first drone, the battery life isn't really that bad, but I would recommend that you get a few extra batteries, perhaps the DJI Fly More combo, which will include 2 extra batteries here, and this charge hub that will charge all the batteries simultaneously, and the RC-N3 controller here, which will allow you to connect this to the Neo, fly longer, and also adjust the settings a little bit better and use manual settings to really get the best out of this drone. But I would say about 6 to 12 minutes. That's a big gap actually, but that's what I would say is somewhere between that. But it also depends on where and how you fly. Is there a lot of wind when you're flying? How far are you flying? Are you using the dedicated remote? Are you flying with quick shots only? Are you using your smartphone to fly your drone? You know, it's hard to say exactly how much you're gonna get because everyone is flying these drones differently. But what I can say is for me and my use, this has more than enough battery life to get the job done. So when it comes to this $199 drone, I mean, it has all the features you actually need and all those features with the press of a button. And it has the ability to be flown with the RC controller or as an FPV drone, or even with a smartphone or without a controller at all. And it even has cruise control, which is something I didn't expect to see in a drone without sensors. And the follow mode and the direction track is just amazing. So even if you want to fly this with or without your smartphone, a dedicated RC controller with goggles and the FPV controller, you know, it's one amazing drone that I can highly recommend because it's so versatile. And even DJI has a dedicated start guide in the DJI Fly app to help you with setup, dedicated shots, creative shots, and how to get the most out of the DJI Neo. Everything is built into the DJI Fly app for your convenience. And even if you go to places where it might not be suitable to fly the DJI Neo, you can always use it handheld and switch over to manual controls and just hold it in your hand and then press the record button. So there you have my week's later review on the Neo. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and if you're looking to get the DJI Neo, there is a link down there as well. It would be really appreciated if you go through that link. So that's going to be everything for today's video. Really hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye bye.